Fleming, everyone.
One more time for Brian. And how about another round of applause for all the comedians you saw tonight? This show is a fucking miracle, okay? So clap it up for yourselves for coming out tonight. How about everyone? This show, I honestly am just happy you're here, okay? And if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, it never happened. Don't tell me. This is my first time performing in Philly, and first time. And listen, I said it during the sound check, which didn't go well apparently. When I got here, I was freaking the fuck out. I didn't know how to set up the room, and a few of you helped me set up the room, and especially these two ladies over there. Yay! Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. And listen, Miss, what's your name?
Dara.
Dara? You hugged me, and it felt like I could quit comedy. When you just embraced me, I'm like, I don't need this anymore. This is what I always wanted, just a hug. Oh, it's beautiful. And this is like, I'm so happy this worked out. Like I'm working on the show, okay? And I changed a few things, so I don't know if it's gonna work out. And by the way, this light is this better? Is this, do I look like a more of a skeleton with great hair this way? Yeah. This will make you sick. Like, look at this. It's like a fucking anorexic Alfred Hitchcock. Sometimes these shows don't work out. I produce my own shows everywhere I go because nobody books me on their shows. I've been doing stand-up comedy for like 15 years, and now something inside me broke. And now I just find random places to put on comedy shows, and sometimes people don't show up. And tonight you showed up. And you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat because I've been bombing a lot less. So you caught me at a good time. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you should have waited 6 months and see me then. And it's tough to bomb. Like it sucks bombing when you're on the show, but it sucks even more when you bomb and you're on the poster. That is the worst fucking thing. Because then basically you have to start over from scratch. It's like if you go up and you don't go well, it doesn't go well, and because the whole point of this show is for it to go well enough for you to come see me again at some point. So if it doesn't, I gotta start from scratch. But that's not gonna happen tonight. It's not gonna happen tonight. Yeah, thanks. Philly mom right there. Philly mother right there. I'm on a good streak right now. Okay? Good streak. I'll tell you about when I first started producing shows. My friends and I did a show at a bar in the East Village. I was 23 and I loved it because it was ours. You know, it was something like no one could tell us shit. You know, it was our show. We could fail and fail as much as we wanted until the bar canceled the show. 3 weeks later, the first time I ever put on my own show, they canceled it 3 weeks later, and they replaced us with nothing. It was a Wednesday night. We got like 6 people in every show, and they canceled the show, and they decided just not to have customers instead. That's how shitty our comedy was. And they're like, we'd rather just the bartender have some peace and quiet. And I remember one night, and it was kind of set up like this. Like the bar was up front, and the showroom was in the back. And it's a very small room, bar up front, show in the back. And I remember one night I got the headline, like I'm doing tonight. I got the headline, and it was tough to get that headline in spot. What I had to do was show up late. I was the last comic to show up, and they're like, "Your headline tonight." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I am successful now." I get up on stage, and there's 5 people in the audience, right? Just 5. And I am bombing. It's not going well. Nothing's working, right? And I thought it couldn't get any worse until all of a sudden, a massive cockroach ran across the stage and into the bar. Massive, like a classic big city cockroach. Like this cockroach has been working out inside the wall for like 20 years. Can't wait for the fucking Roach Olympics. We're gonna take the Roach Olympics, by the way, Las Vegas. First time I ever said that punchline, and 3 of you laughed, so stand. The roach runs across the stage. 3 out of the 5 audience members run out of the showroom into the bar, and there's 2 people left. And I kept going. I didn't even acknowledge that a roach ran across the stage. I just stood there and kept talking about how skinny I am. That's what I did. And you know what those 2 people did? They continued not to laugh. I kept bombing. But they were still there, so I'm like, maybe they like me. That's how delusional I was. I'm like, maybe I can get them on my mailing list. I was like, I'm gonna talk to these 2 people after my set because I heard that's what Kevin Hart did. He got email addresses. I'm like, maybe I could do that, right? So I go up to them after my set, and I said, hey, how come you guys stuck around while everyone else ran into the bar? And they said, because that's where the roach went. It wasn't my comedy that kept them around. They're just like, why the fuck would I go into the bar? That's where the roach is. And, best joke of the night, by the way. When they said it to me, I laughed so much. Like, that's fucking hilarious. And then I said, can I have your email addresses? And they said, no thank you. So that's what I do, man. I've been doing this shit for years, man. This is all I got. All I have is comedy and this shirt. That's all I have. And this hair. That's all I really have, man. I'm trying to make it work. After the show that night, I went back to my apartment, which is the same apartment I still live in today, okay? Except now I have the big room. When I first moved into that apartment, I had the smallest room in the apartment, but now I have the biggest room because my other 2 comedians who I moved in with, my 2 comedian friends, they quit comedy and they moved on with their lives, and they have nicer apartments, but I got the big room. But back then, when I was 23, 24, I had my room was like the size of this stage, okay? And all I had in it was an air mattress, like Carter has right now. Okay? All I had was an air mattress, and you know you're broke when you get good at sleeping on an air mattress. I had a strategy down, okay? If I was on a date and it was going well, I called up my roommates and I said, inflate it. Inflate that shit, okay? This is not a drill. Have that shit inflated in about 45 minutes because we're taking the subway, you know? That's what I do. Because you can't, like, listen, you cannot bring a woman back to your apartment and inflate it while she's there. Watching you. Regretting every decision she made. As soon as she walks into your room and she's like, Mike, where's your bed? And I gotta be like, hold on. Just gotta plug it in. Hold on 1 second. And then just, oh, you're still here. Well, I guess we should try this out, right? But first, we should do some protection. Take out those earrings. They look sharp. The one rule for fucking on an air mattress is don't pop it, because then you're fucking on the floor. That was my life, man. I was a broke-ass comedian, sleeping on a raft, trying to make some shit happen. You know what's crazy? That bar we did our show at is still around. This was like 8 years ago, and that bar is still there. And I walk by it every single day. You ever walk by a place and assume it's still open just to taunt you? Like, the only reason that bar is open is because, like, a few years after we did that show, I had a really bad breakup in that bar. And it was I caused the breakup. I broke up with my girlfriend at the bar. It's the worst decision I ever made. And she gave me a bag of my things back. And I threw away the bag in a trash can outside of that bar that the roach ran across the stage on. And then after that, I went home to my big room, and I cried. I cried up against my real-size bed. You know? And then I realized that everything that made me happy in my big room was at that bar and in the trash can. I fucked it up. This is where it's getting dramatic, where I need more punchlines. But maybe you didn't know that. Did you know it? Or do you feel the emotion? This is the great thing about doing a show here. It doesn't matter. Like, I love you all, but I need to test this out. So when I just did that, did you want more punchlines? Because was it like, oh, he's getting into the story. Because he's like, oh, he's working on an hour of story. I'm not doing the whole hour, don't worry. But did you get that vibe? You're like, oh, he's turning into like a more emotional piece. Or did you want me to tell some dick jokes? I don't know. Philly Mom, what'd you think?
Yeah, more.
More?
Yeah, more.
I'll keep going. Now you're really turning into a Philly mother. You're like, get some more laughs or you're not coming home tonight. I get it. I don't know why. I fucked up my relationship because like I was worried that I was going to turn into my parents. I'm 30 years old. My girlfriend and I, we were getting pretty serious, and I'm like, this is getting real. Like, I was afraid because we both have issues, and I can talk about that because she's not here right now. Anyone in here have a fucked up family? Yeah. And some of you aren't making noise because you're with your family. I get it. My biggest fear is to end up like my parents, okay? And I saw my girlfriend and I going down that road, and I ended things when I should have just communicated that fear I have. I should just say, hey, I'm worried that we're not addressing some of our issues, but instead I destroyed our relationship. And you know what's funny about that? I have a degree in communication. I have a bachelor's degree in communication, but I broke my best friend's heart instead of communicating with her, which is why I stopped paying my student loans. I'm not paying off that shit. I'm not using it. I am not using it. You should be able to return your degree for school credit, you know? Or maybe like a hoodie or something. Like, I'm not using this shit. Why am I paying for it, man? And get my money back, right? All I did for like years is I just obsessed over stand-up comedy, and I wanted love, like that hug from my Philly mom, like this is what I do this shit for. But when I got that love, I fucked it up. And I fucked it up at that fucking bar where I did that show at. And I should have never ruined it because our relationship was a miracle, okay? My girlfriend and I matched on Tinder 4 years before we went on our first date. I'll say it into the microphone. To emphasize how fucking crazy this is. My girlfriend and I matched on Tinder. I asked her to get a drink and she didn't respond for 4 years. That's like telling people she waited for me when I went to war. That doesn't fucking happen. We matched, I asked her to get a drink and she didn't respond, and then 4 years later, she said, I deleted Tinder to go to grad school, do you still want to get that drink? And I said, yeah. Because that's a fucking miracle, okay? I'm not going to turn down a miracle. And B, point number 2, I had nothing else to do. I was so down. And I think every man in here would have done the same thing. That's how a man's brain operates, okay? If I'm single and I asked you out 25 years ago, I'm still down. I'm still down. I'll drop everything I'm doing and go out with you right now. And I'll be cocky about it too. I'll be like, I knew you were into me 25 years ago. I felt that chemistry. We had something going on. I was 5, you were 5. There was something there. It was good. And she brought so much joy into my life, and I didn't know how to accept it. Because I got that fucked up family. My mom's got depression, my dad's got social anxiety, and when you combine those two, you should use a condom. That doesn't create a happy family. That creates, you know what our family tree is? Any tree we can hang ourselves from. I did that joke because I was losing confidence in the new shit. That's an old joke. That's an old one. That's a good one. Be confident? I like that. Are you guys together?
Yeah.
How long have you been together for?
11 years.
11 years. Not on Tinder now. That's real life. like, you met, how long did it take for you to go on a first date?
Like a week?
Yeah. You know what? It took me fucking 4 years. 4 years, and I fucked it up so many times. By the way, for Christmas one year, I got my girlfriend a gift that changed our fucking relationship forever. Okay? I got my partner a Super Grover doll from Sesame Street. And just like that hug is what I needed, okay? You ever get someone a gift and it's more of a gift for you? That's what it was. And we started to treat him like he was our child. I know some of you have kids and you're like, you're wrong. I know. Having a stuffed animal is nothing like having a kid. It's way better. There are no responsibilities. All he does, he just sat there and he smiled because that's all his face could do. I'll cut that punchline because that's not a punchline apparently. Yeah, cut it? Thank you for that. That was aggressive. The more you drink, the more you become Philly. That is some real assurance there. Yeah, cut it. Still supportive. This is a photo of him in my bed. Look at that. I don't know if you can all see. Hold on. Super Grover. He's got a little helmet, a little cape. He's adorable. He was 3.2 ounces when we took him home from staying Amazon.com. Adorable. And like my favorite thing about him is he helped me communicate better because like we started to use him as like a communication tool, right? Like whenever one of us was like overthinking everything or depressed, we would take Grover and attach him to one of our noses and we squeeze his paws against our nose and we call that a Grover hug. Right. I'm a 30-year-old man, and that made me so happy. Okay? She squeezes my nose with his little paws. We call that a Grover hug. And then sometimes we take his little toes, his little feet, and we kick each other with that. We call that a Grover kick. It's amazing, okay? It's the best family I've ever been a part of. And I told that to my dad, and my dad's like, that's fair. Show you this. Whenever we're traveling, we send people like each other videos of Grover, and this is the funniest thing I've ever done in my life. You feel I quieted the room? Dramatic. I'm on my laptop. Do one more. Right? Funniest thing I've ever done in my life. The best is, what we did is, I'll tell you the best day we ever had as a family. We took him on the train, and everyone on the train looked at us like we were crazy. And it's probably because he was so low behaved. We took him to the park, we took him to get pizza, we took him to the movies. On the way home, my girlfriend and I started sexting each other because we didn't want Grover to hear. Swear to God. We're sexting each other because we still fucked. Okay, we still hooked up. Whoever says people stop hooking up when they have kids clearly has real kids. This is not the same. It's not the same. So we get back to my apartment and we're gonna fool around, right? But then we noticed that Grover was still in the bed. So we took him out of the bed and we had him face the wall. But then we thought that was bad parenting, right? So we took my laptop, we put it in front of Grover, and we had him watch Netflix while we fucked. I know I'm losing some of you because it's adorable. I told you at the beginning. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if the sex was good, but it was hilarious. It was so good to occasionally look down and watch Grover watch Orange is the New Black while we were hooking up. It would have been better if one time I looked down, he was just looking back at us. I'm like, holy shit. That was insane, man. He's the best. And it was my first time having people I cared about at home, you know? I used to think about them all the time when I traveled, and I stay at some sketchy-ass places, okay? I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last week, and I felt successful. Because what I usually do is I usually stay at the cheapest place I can find. Like, I'm used to staying at places where I regret being barefoot in the shower. You ever stay somewhere and you take a shower like, I should have kept my boots on. I fucked up, man. I remember one time I was in London, not to brag, and no one asked me to go. But I did a show in London in a conference room I rented. 6-person conference room in a different country. So if you think this show is awkward, you're wrong. If you're wondering why I was freaking out about the tables, because now I have PTSD anytime I see a table. I'm like, no, I don't want. I sat at a conference room on a table. So I was there to do shows at a conference room. I was staying at an artist commune. That's where I was staying. A hostel shut down, and these artists took it over and somehow made it worse. I don't know how. They somehow made it much more disgusting. Like, now it was dirty and pretentious at the same time. Okay? Like, I'm sure the homeless people weren't brewing their own kombucha. You know? And I was so broke, I was sleeping on a towel. Yeah. I was sleeping on a towel in an actor's room who was also sleeping on a towel. It was a 2-towel room, okay? No windows, just towels, no locks, just towels. You ever stay somewhere so sketchy you have to use memories to fall asleep? But that's what this place was. I was trying to fall asleep on some stranger's cum-covered towel in a different country. And you know what I used to fall asleep? I thought about my girlfriend and Grover cuddling together in Brooklyn. And it helped me out. It helped me fall asleep, man. And you know what's fucked up? In 2020, you can say your son is gay, straight, trans, gender neutral, but when you start to tell people your son is a stuffed animal, all of a sudden you're the weird one at the hospital. I'm fucking winded. I'm like, I'm shout out. Like, oh my god, I gotta pace myself, man. Came up here 125 pounds. I'm like 115. I don't know. Cut it now, too. Should I cut it? Who said it? You? Who said I should cut it? No, the last time. Philly mom? Don't you rat out my Philly mom. So, when I broke up with her, I got to take the responsibility for this. She was amazing. I instantly got back to my apartment. I realized I missed my family so much. Okay, when I got back to my apartment after we broke up at the bar, I got back to my place and I was just miserable. Okay, I started crying nonstop, and I didn't know how to win her back because we just broke up like hours ago. So we started emailing each other, right? And luckily, my girlfriend doesn't know how great she is because she agreed to meet up with me a couple weeks later. She didn't have to, okay? I got lucky, you know? When you go out with somebody you match on Tinder 4 years after you match, you gotta realize that's good timing on my part. Because she had a bunch of people on their feet and I got back to her first, maybe, I don't know. And it was lucky. She's my best friend. I met her because other dudes were too slow to respond, I guess, I don't know. That's a sad, I made myself sad when I said that. I'm never saying that shit again. That broke my heart. I'm like, wow, I know. But I emailed her, we were emailing back and forth, and she agreed to meet up with me. And I apologized for what happened, and we were each other's best friends, and she understood that, like, I made a mistake, right? And luckily she took me back, and then she came back to my place like a couple nights later. I got an N-word coming back up. This is the rewrite, okay? I didn't tell this part of the story the last time I performed.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Right. So I need more context here, but it's getting good. It's getting good. There's no roaches are gonna run across the stage, trust me. Hopefully. She took me back, right? And she got back to my place a couple nights later, and she asked me if Grover was still there. And I didn't have the heart to tell her that I threw Grover away in the trash. He was in the bag of things I threw away outside that bar. And I realized if I told her I threw Grover in the trash, she would have broke up with me at that point. So I didn't know what to say. I said, Grover left. I made it sound like he was studying abroad in like Queens or something. Like, Grover doesn't live here anymore. But she knew me. She knew. She was like, "Was it in the thing? Was it was in the bag I gave you? You stole the bag?" I'm like, "No." And then it was weird for a while. Like when we got back together and Grover wasn't there, like it didn't feel the same. You know? Like that empty nest syndrome's real, man. And I started to feel worse and worse about throwing Grover in the trash because Grover doesn't belong in the trash can. That's Oscar's place. And after apologizing too much, I remember it was my birthday, and I kept apologizing that Grover wasn't there. That's too personal. I apologize for Grover not being there to celebrate with us. And all of a sudden, my girlfriend said, "You gotta stop apologizing for this. Everything's okay." And then she took her 2 fingers and she squeezed my nose and she said, "Grover, hug." And it felt the same. It felt the same as when Grover used to do it. And that's when I realized, oh, Grover was just a toy. And she said, "I love you. We can order another one off Amazon." And that's what we did. We have another Grover. I'll show you a picture. That's the exact same doll. It doesn't look any different. So we got another Grover off Amazon. And I've been working on the story with her approval. I've been working on the story. And sometimes people get really into it. Like when I tell people I threw Grover in the trash, they get offended. Like, how dare you, sir? And one night I did a show in Brooklyn, and then I was loitering at this coffee shop the next day because that's what I do. I don't pay for things. I just loiter. I don't have enough money to buy coffee. Except after tonight, because we did well tonight, folks. By the way, tip Tommy bartender, but he's fucking killing it. There you go, Tom. He helped put the show together. I did the show, and then the next day, I was writing on my laptop. I had my headphones on, and I could feel this guy looking at me. And I wanted him to go away because I was assuming it was like the barista asked me to buy something. Like, just fucking go away. But he wouldn't leave, so I looked up, and there's this guy who's about my age, and he had his daughter with him. And he's pointing at me, so I take my headphones off, and he says, "Grover?" I got recognized for doing the story, and he called me Grover. It sucks when your son's more successful than you are. Most of you don't remember my name, but you remember Grover. He pointed at me, he said, "Grover," and I guess that's better than him pointing at me and being like, "Come cover towels." And he said he was at the show the night before, and him and his friends really enjoyed the show, and he said, "This is my Grover," and he pointed to his daughter. And I was like, I didn't know what, I was like, "What?" He said, "This is my Grover." And I'm like, "No, that's a child." It's like, if I told my girlfriend I threw our daughter in the trash can, she wouldn't take me back. She'd Grover kick my ass to jail, I think, you know? We did it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let me, everybody. Let me hear it one more time. One more time, all the times we saw tonight.